Recap of the pathetic evidence Thomas Williams and Kim Goguen has provided. So far we have been offered the following bits of proof, evidence regarding the wild hoaxes of THI and the Mana World Holding Trust. 1. A Nigerian news report stating the Mana World Holding Trust is a scam, and Thomas tosses it back saying it's proof the trust exists because it is mentioned in a news report. A news report that clearly states they have determined it to be a hoax, with other repostings in the area coming out since saying the same thing. Reports Kim Goguen is a scam artist. 2. A photoshopped kangaroo skin treaty. Thomas Williams first broadcasted this as intel in his THI show. He shared the photo with all of the members. Then Kim spoke about it in the Universal Protection Unit show, where none of the alleged aliens knew anything about the kangaroo skin treaty. Turns out the whole show was fake and they were all reading from a script. Team Bubba discovered the kangaroo skin to be also fake, after finding the original skin on the internet. Thomas said the skin was a 16,500-year-old treaty that was signed by Marduk and original tribe members that has put the world in the state it's in now. Well, here's a few facts about that skin. The photo that Tommy posted showing a grainy image has been photoshopped, made to look grainy and worn. If you go into the histogram of the image in Photoshop, you can see the levels aren't consistent with an untouched image. So now we have proved it's a fake photo. Let's explore a bit more. This image is the original image, which was digitally altered. They removed the table and the biscuits. The image is of a map drawn by Doug Williams, Aboriginal tribe elder and map maker, taken from a book called Transcending the Culture-Nature Divide in Cultural Heritage, Views from the Asia-Pacific Region. It's a map of the Guythable and Garibaldi Aboriginal tribes from New South Wales. I will post links in the description. This picture shows the actual map, looks in good condition to say it's 16,500 years old lol, being held up by Aboriginal tribesmen during a summit. I think Thomas didn't expect to have his whole BS story blown out of the water by little old Barry Bigham. He doesn't talk much about this skin anymore. I wonder why? So here we have yet another lie. 3. An old Xerox print of an elaborate hierarchical chart, at least 5 feet long, that is supposed to be not only ancient, but off-world as well. Proving we, as the Earth human species, are supposed to take Thomas and Kim's word that they are the representatives who entered us into some universal treaty without our consent. As you can see from this video, Kim has just dumped this priceless, one of its kind on her garden patio floor, where dirt or animal feces would easily contaminate it. Also looks like Kim had folded it to make it small enough to dump in her cabinet drawer where all the junk mail goes. Thomas has promised to have a show that will explain the chart in more detail. That was last year. 4. A very poor recording and acting attempt of alien translation of the Universal Protection Unit, which again turned out to be Kim acting as a diplomat that sits at a table with ETs discussing our futures with them. Thomas called them K.M.A. to protect their identities. But unfortunately Kim let one of the names slip and called him Megan. This is supposed to be a sovereign person that has 64+ levels of security above President Trump with cosmic clearance. But she can't even stop herself outing one of the paid actors in the show. 5. Vaughn writes and Leo Wanta. Another pathetic example of how Thomas uses crooks and fake save the world people to confirm the Mana World Holding Trust exists. He said Vaughn writes did hit pieces that failed. In came Leo Wanta verifying MWHT and funds existed but stated it was stolen funds, neglecting the fact would the USA Treasury or government accept stolen funds? So he wants to use Anna and Leo's comments as proof that the trust exists, even though he said they are either CIA assets, criminals, work for the Vatican, dragon families and are liars. Thomas and Kim hate these people but choose to use their comments as proof. If Kim is so high up and mixes with world leaders and ETs, why not show us a few photos with her and them? Oh, but you see she hides her face from public. We are told it's for security reasons. Strangely, you can run a simple internet search and find photos of her face on most websites that are investigating her for being part of a Russian organized crime group. And lots of distraction, deflection, fabrication, and defamation. Bubba's files of evidence and items under investigation are piling high. NTW only avoids and poo-poos they even exist. Not wise, methinks. I will leave you with a soundbite from the Thomas Williams UPU show. Just to show you how deluded these people are. As well as Kim's idiotic team, Tank, Stephen Rowe, Dan Lutz, Thomas Williams, Randy Morgans, and Alan James.
A picture sent to myself, which I posted to the group, and it was a kangaroo skin. What is the significance of it, and can you tell us any details about it?
They're not familiar with the kangaroo skin. They're not familiar with it.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. It was just it was passed down and used by one of the tribes, and I did try to reach the tribal leader from that area, and it looks like he'll be able to do a different show for you, so he can explain it from their historical view and how that was passed down from generation to generation. Is there something written on it? Yes. Okay. So I can see it. But they're saying
given to me from the tribal leader.
Yeah. So they're saying that it's part of a human tradition on the planet. But that's basically what they were showing. But they're not. They're not claiming ownership over this.
This was basically a written history for them as to when the agreements would expire, what the timeline was. They have already stated, both the council and the tribes have stated that we are late, we are running behind. They are the ones that found the loophole on how to circumvent the old and to start anew. So this was actually their work in cooperation with some other areas which held other bits and pieces of the agreement. But this was held internally amongst the tribe for their own records as to what had happened. They explained it to me, for their part at the time, the treaty was done by song and dance. So this was just a written record of what had concluded at that time. The song and dance ritual that took place at that time is what you are referring to as the ceremony or the celebration in which the new treaty will actually officially go into force. We have been enforcing the peace treaty by signature at this moment, but the actual reversal of that will be done by song